Single at 40 podcast. Let's go. Here with Glenn.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So today we're going to talk about travel because we got our next trip coming up in 3 days. So we're excited, getting ready to go. So those of you that want to go to the Philippines and have not, we'll give a little bit of information on how to get that done. First and foremost, you got to get a passport. If you already got one, great. If not, pretty simple to get. You can go online and do it, or you can do it at your local post office. You'll need to get what they call a passport photo. You can get those at UPS. Some post offices do them, and I don't remember what a passport costs. Maybe it's like $100, $75 or something like that. But that's the first thing you got to get. Then, book your flight from wherever you're coming from in the world. Any major city is probably going to take you to Manila. That's where we fly into from Honolulu. And then if you're headed to Angeles City, like we would recommend, and we're going to, you got to figure out what hotel you want to stay at. There's plenty of options. Some of the ones that we've stayed at is Scorebirds. We're going to stay at the Carousel Hotel this time. ABC's a real nice hotel. So once you figure out your dates and your main flight into Manila, then you can pick your hotel and figure out your dates there. Transportation from Manila to get to Angeles, a few ways you can do it. The way I recommend and the way we do it is you basically just contact the hotel you're staying at and have them set it up for you. It's an extremely reliable way to get there. Driver will be waiting for you. That will probably range you anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 pesos, depending on the hotel and what kind of vehicle they send you. So anywhere from 80 to $120 US, and you always want to tip your driver as well. Also, you can get a Grab, which is like Uber in the Philippines, or a taxi. There's plenty of people when you walk outside the airport that are selling those services. So you can jump on one of those, which is probably a cheaper route. I think one of our friends took a Grab last time. I think he said it was about $60 US. We prefer dealing with the hotel because it's a lot more reliable. I'm not going to say the other way is not safe, but I guarantee the hotel transportation is going to get you there safely because that's what they're paid to do, and they want to make sure you get to the hotel. So whatever fits your budget, I think, is the best route to go. And like I said, if you contact the hotel, and they're very simple, email them, tell them your flight information. They'll send a van, a car, whatever you need, pick you right up. So if you're solo traveling, you don't need a van, just take a car. If you got a group, van, possible multiple vans, depending on how many people are coming. So once you get to Angeles City, transportation there is real simple. You can walk pretty much to anything you need, food, laundry, SM Mall. It's all within walking distance. There's also, the trikes you can take, which are, extremely cheap, a couple hundred pesos going to wherever you're going. So once you're there, if that's the only place you're going to stay, pretty simple to get around. All those hotels that we mentioned are within, walking distance or on walking street, but there's plenty of options out there. Just Google it and plenty will come up, and you can look at the reviews and kind of make your decision from there. And then obviously you're there to go to the entertainment district, you're there to go to walking street. We give our list of bars that we really like to go to. My advice, like we said in the last podcast, is, you can do some bar hopping, go to as many as you like, but I would spend some time at one and spend a little bit of money. If you're a solo traveler or a small group and you've never been there, another route you can take is everybody that's working at these bars and these restaurant establishments, you can pay what they call a bar fine. And essentially that's, you pay the bar to release the person from work. And it doesn't just have to be, girls. There's guys that are MCs or, guys that work at the door that try to get you to come in. And if you strike up a conversation with one, you go in the bar and, the guy's taking care of you, you can ask him like, hey, you want to show us around tonight? You can pay his bar fine, which is usually anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 pesos. And then he's able to leave the bar with you, and he can kind of be your escort, if you will, or your tour guide and take you to different bars. And the cool thing is most of those guys that are in those positions have worked at different establishments. They know everybody on the street, so you'll have a great time, and they'll basically take you wherever you want to go, and they'll have recommendations, but they'll also watch the bill for you. They'll, order your drinks for you. They'll, help you find girls if that's what you're after. So my advice is to do that. The bars we go to, Sky, Genesis, Las Vegas, Atlantis, Elite, Dollhouse, those are all a few of our favorite bars. So any of those places are a good place to start, and any of the staff members there can help you out in regards to like what we're talking about if you want to have somebody escort you around or give you like the tour guide status. I know we've talked about, Bernie and Red, our guys that we hire. Bernie's over at Sky and Red's at Genesis. They'd always be happy to help anybody. So they're part of the channel. They're part of the team. So if you end up going there, tell them you watch Single at 40, tell them you want them to show you a good time, and those guys will bend over backwards for you. That was something we didn't learn till later, right? Like we kind of just did our own thing and walked around. And then once we got to know those guys, like, I don't remember which one proposed it to me. I didn't even know you could bar fine them.
Yeah, I mean, when they became part of the team, we started doing other stuff, and like everyone on that street knows each other. So when we go to like the party we had at Mega Dance, Red knew a bunch of people there, was able to set stuff up, and if that's something different you want to do than just the bars, but.
Yeah, I mean they can set you up with whatever you want, and not to say any of the girls they can be your tour guide as well. Some are more active, if you will, when it comes to knowing people and trying to show you a good time. The older ones that have been there a while, they know more people. There's a carousel of people coming and going that work there, especially on the dancers and the girls side. So my advice is find one of the MCs or one of the guys that's been there a lot longer, and they can show you around. And you don't have to have somebody like that. I've just learned through our experiences that it just makes for a better experience because of their knowledge. And I like just not having to worry about the bill and not having to worry about hunting down a waitress, and they take care of all that type of stuff for you. So that's pretty cool. Hotels, I mean, we would recommend number one, the Carousel. We haven't stayed there yet because it's brand new, but the woman that owns it, Amy, who you're going to see in a podcast coming up once we get over there, she's an extremely good host for when it comes to setting up your transportation or anything you need to do. Like one time we were looking to get IVs, for hangovers, and I emailed her like, Amy, I'm looking for a place to get IVs, and she found one for us, set it all up. So she's great, and I would imagine most of the concierge type people at any of the hotels can do that type of stuff for you. Help you order food, get your laundry done, whatever you're looking for. But again, this is a give take. You got to tip these people and pay them for their services, not just expect it with your hotel room fee. I mean, they don't expect the tip, but if you give them the tip, and help them for helping you out, they'll bend over backwards for you. That's definitely what we've found. So, we talk about the bars we like to go to. There's plenty of them on there, and everybody has their different things. Like, there's a lot that have dance shows that are really loud, and that's really not our thing, and if that's your thing, XS is a really good bar for that. Avalon's a really good bar for that. They have really good shows, nice places. If you just want to sit down and have beers, in a small environment, close with the staff and hang out, Sky, Elite are probably good bars for that. Atlantis is a really cool place because it's, double level. There's a lot of people that work there. It's more like a Western style type club, and that's a really good one to go to. I mean, if you had to rank them, Glenn, what's your ranking?
I mean, from the beginning, it's always been Atlantis and Dollhouse. Those are the top two, in my opinion, just because, the first times I've gone there, the experience I had was always positive. And then, I mean, obviously the, Sky and Genesis, I mean, they've become basically our home ever since we started going back after the pandemic. And, I mean, it's all... I don't know. I don't really have like a specific order, man. When I'm there, it's like, once you get there, it doesn't matter where you're at. It's the environment, the people, and
no, for sure.
Yeah, I always have a great time. So
for sure, we always seem to finish at Sky or Genesis just because those are like the ones where our guys work and we finish the night there. But we always like starting at Dollhouse or Atlantis, and good place to get the party started.
I always like going to places that we're not really familiar with too, and then kind of like, as you said, the momentum gets going, buying drinks, and when we leave, it's always cool to see people like super thankful, having a great time, money's being spent.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because anytime we go into somewhere new and they don't know us, it's always fun, turning the place upside down and creating the party environment.
Like that one place, what was it called, Red Dragon, a couple years ago?
Yeah. We haven't been back.
Yeah,
we need to go back.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, it was pretty awesome. We just kind of, kept quiet, did our thing. But by the time we left, I mean, we had like the DJs, the people in the back making drinks, like thanking us, having a great time. So.
No, it's really fun. So if you're watching this and you're trying to set up like a boys trip with, whatever, 3, 4, 5, however many guys you're trying to take, yeah, I don't really think, I'm with Glenn, it doesn't really matter the bar you go to, because if you have a big crowd with you, you're going to have fun. And back to like the bar finding thing, like say you go into a place and you're having a good time, but you want to move on, but the people there have been fun, you bring them with you, like bar find them if you can afford it, grab some of the girls, maybe one of the guys that helped you and have them take you. And then you're essentially taking the party with you to another bar. And, once the girls are with you and you go into another bar, like they're just going to have fun with the girls that are working at that bar. And it just makes the party bigger and more intense and better. So if you're in a group setting, like I would definitely play it like that. If you're solo traveling, I mean, you can definitely create your own party and bar find a bunch of people if you have the budget and create your own party that way. Or if you're somebody that just wants to sit back and have drinks, just do that. But for the big groups, I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of like information on like these type of places, right? I mean, that's kind of why we're doing this, and it's, I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's just like when you go out anywhere you live, you're going out to the clubs on the weekends. It's like bring the positive vibe, and and it doesn't matter where you're at, and obviously we're going to another country to do it, so it's just one of those things.
Well, definitely, like anybody that's going to go out in their home country to whatever, pool hall, dance club, dive bar, like it's always about the people you're with, right? And the group that you cruise with, or the people you meet there. So it's like you can turn any place into fun. It doesn't have to be the hottest spot or the newest spot or the coolest spot. Like you can literally make it that spot if you want. And like Glenn said, there's always new ones opening up. So that's one of the cool things if you're, a repetitive customer of Walking Street, we get into our routines and like to go to the same places, but it's always fun to throw in someplace new because, different music, different setup, different girls. So that's always a good part of Walking Street. There's always going to be something new going on. Like one of the ones we recently went to that opened up was Skin's Gentleman's Club. And that guy had a really big vision. His name's Brian, nice guy. And that's a, 2-story place with, crazy dance floor, a big DJ setup, really cool place. So that just came out of another place that closed down, I think, during COVID. And then, Brian came in, took over, and, created his vision. So that turned out to be a really nice spot.
Pretty big.
Kind of remind me a little bit of Atlantis, but unique in its own way, right?
Yeah, I mean, multiple levels, dancers, girls everywhere, so.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on is the drive, like whenever your flight lands in Manila, if you're headed to AC, like depending on the time of day, it can be anywhere from, it should take 90 minutes with no traffic, but if you put yourself in a situation where, you're there on a Friday night, unfortunately for us, due to our schedule, we usually leave on Thursdays in Hawaii, which lands us, in Manila on Friday night at like 5:30 p.m. So over the years, we've done it a few different ways. Like sometimes we go straight there, or, we stay the night, in Manila. If you're going to stay the night in Manila, there's some cool places to go. If you want to go to like a Walking Street type place, there's P. Burgo Street, which is in Makati, which is in the sense of traffic, it's like a 45-minute drive. If there's no traffic, there's 20 minutes. And it's very similar to Walking Street, just a little bit smaller. But if you wanted to just beat traffic and stay there for the night, you could do that. And you can still have your hotel in Angeles pick you up there. They'll pick you up wherever they want. You just got to communicate that with them. So that there is other options if you don't want to go straight to dealing with the traffic. The other advice is there's what they call the Skyway, which is like a toll road that goes over the city. Make sure when you contact your hotel that the person picking you up, or if you're taking a taxi or whatever, they have Skyway access, or they're willing to take you on the Skyway. I think you can pay a toll. You better off you have one that has the access. It's like the fast pass type of thing where they don't have to stop. And there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 toll stops along the way when you're leaving Manila. So if you have one that can just drive right through that, it speeds up the process. If you don't do that and you try to go through the city streets, like that can turn into like a 5, 6, 7 hour drive. And before that thing was open, that's the battle we'd have to take. So
yeah, and that's a real thing. Like, what was that? A couple years ago, it took us, I don't know when we traveled. It was like during
that was Good Friday. So yeah, be aware of holidays. Research holidays, because Filipinos love their holidays. They love to get together. They love to party. So we put ourselves in this situation where
that was bad.
We ended up landing in the morning because we took a different flight, and we tried to drive from basically Manila to Angeles City on, I believe it was the morning of Good Friday, which is obviously Easter weekend, and so it felt like everybody in that city was trying to get out to go to their province or go visit their family. And I think it was like a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, I mean, we bypassed the Skyway because the Skyway was traffic, and then we had to take the regular MacArthur Highway into.
Yeah, that was brutal. So yeah, do your research. But I mean, you can always hit us up in the comments or on the email on it looks like our light just went off.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. You saw our lighting cut out on us. Something we've been trying to do every podcast is, get better with the cameras, the lighting, and all that cool stuff. So Glenn bought this cool lighting system that works off of a battery, and we thought we had it charged, and it wasn't. But I don't know if you know, the background's a little bit different from what we've set up. So we're trying to learn our process and get better, make a better viewing experience for everybody. So yeah, if you have any ideas or you know how to do this, let us know. But that's where we're at. So anyways, we talked about the travel. Our trip's coming up in 3 days, and we've talked about in our other podcasts going to other places. If you don't want to spend your whole time in Angeles and you want to travel other places, real simple, you can book all that stuff online. If you're not somebody that's a big online booker and you're not really sure where to go, there's travel agencies on Walking Street and some of the hotels that can set you up too. That's what we did the first time we went. And funny story, we didn't know shit, so we're sitting there, at I think it was the Walkabout Hotel. They had a little travel desk, and
Yeah.
we're working with this lady trying to go to Boracay, and like Glenn being our tech person's like watching her do it, and I think she was on like Yahoo Travel or something.
Yeah, it was like taking forever.
And she was trying to do this, and we leave there, and Glenn's like, why don't we just do this ourselves? I was like, yeah, no shit. I mean, she charges a fee, obviously, as she should. She's doing the work, but we started booking everything ourselves.
That's basically the start of like researching YouTube and everything and all the trips we ended up
Kind of what landed us here, right?
Yeah, basically.
So the other cool thing, is there is Clark Air Force Base, which, has an international airport. If you live in a place, fortunately, to fly directly to Clark, I think Korea has some flights. I don't know about Australia, but unfortunately, the U.S. doesn't that I know of. Definitely Honolulu doesn't. But if you have that opportunity, I would grab that if you can afford it, because that's, 10 minutes from Walking Street.
Yeah, that would be nice if we could go straight to Clark.
Maybe someday they'll have one out of Hawaii, but if you have that option out of your country, definitely jump on that if you can afford it or the flights make sense. But back to Clark, the cool thing is once you get to Angeles and you want to go anywhere else in the country, like Clark basically can get you there. Cebu Airlines, AirAsia, all those smaller airlines go all over the place, and that would be my advice. Don't go back to Manila to fly to Boracay, or don't go back to Manila to fly to Palawan. Just try to set it up out of Clark, and same, your hotel can help you with the transportation to and from that airport. And like I said, there's travel agents there if you're not comfortable booking it yourself. And any of the hotels you're going to in that country, customer service is usually a premium, so you can set up transportation from those airports as well. So yeah, like we said, our next trip's coming up in 3 days, so we're super excited. We're going to fly into Manila, spend a couple days there. We got a real cool podcast set up with a vlogger. You'll see that one coming soon. A guy that we've watched for a while. Really respect his channel, so we're excited to talk to him. Not going to tell you yet till we get him on camera. Now, make sure we get it done before we start talking about it. But that will probably be the next podcast we post after this one. And then we've got a bunch of guests lined up once we get to Angeles, and other podcasts are in Angeles that we're excited about. And then some people from our team over there and some friends of people. So it should be pretty cool. So we're going to fly into Manila. We're going to spend 3 nights there. My sister's going to come into town with her family, and then we're all going to go to Boracay for the Christmas break. And then we're going to fly over to Bohol from Boracay, and then we're going to come back to Angeles City on the 30th. So we'll be there for New Year's. That's the other thing about Angeles City. Like, you got to be careful around the holidays. We've been there so much, and we want to use our holidays, because we have time off from work. But I wouldn't recommend going there on the Christmas, New Year's holiday, because a lot of people that work there go home, and Christmas holiday is a real big holiday in the Philippines, especially New Year's as well. So if you're looking for more people to be working and more excitement, I'd avoid those days. But it's still fun. It's still things are still going on during the holidays. So if that's the best time for you to travel, go for it. But if you want to avoid that, that's a pretty good warning. I know Halloween's a big holiday there on Walking Street, so I've heard that. We've never been there for Halloween. It doesn't really fit our travel schedule, but I know they do like everyone's dressed up and almost like a parade type setup, so I know that one's pretty cool. But other than that, the place is 365, 24/7, so it doesn't really matter when you go. Just pack up and go. So I don't really have much more on this one other than we're just hyped up and getting ready to go. So we're going to end the podcast. We're going to start packing right now, pack all of our equipment and get ready to go. And we'll check you guys out when we're in Manila and we shoot our podcast. You'll see it coming out, probably a week or 2 from now, and we'll keep going. So hit us up in the comments. You can find us on all the different social media platforms: X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Single at 40. We put the same content pretty much across the board, but check us out on whichever one you like. That's about all I got. What about you, Glenn?
No, man, another one down. I mean, these things are. I mean, it's always fun to talk about the Philippines, so I enjoy. If anyone's listening, who knows? But
Yeah, yeah.
these things are. I mean, whatever.
We're getting a little bit of views, so we're getting some people to watch it, and we're here for you. We're here to help you, give you advice. We're here to tell you our story and try to motivate you. That's our whole goal in this thing, and we'll see where it takes us. I think this is podcast number 6, and
no, it's good stuff, man. I mean, that's what these things are, right? You just kind of talk about whatever you feel, and so, anyways.
Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna shut it down. We'll see you guys in the Philippines.
All right.